Hello, sorry it took me a little bit. I was looking for the mic. I couldn't find it. I haven't recorded in a while, so I didn't find the mic. But here's what we're gonna do. First thing, your question is you need to input a string and a number and output them. This is what I understood. But I'm gonna go over it piece by piece. Always divide your big problem into small pieces, easier, especially in programming. Don't think of the whole problem all together. It's gonna be hard. And I'll show you what I mean now. The principle of the divide and conquer. Include. This is to include the library Irvine 32.inc, and you're using visual. I'm using TextPad. It works on Windows. It's free. Visual, when you use Visual Studio, you have to do some tweakings, some settings, and it's explained exactly here. Getting started with Massim, getting started with Visual Studio 15 or 17, and you have to go with each step here explained. Each step explained in detail. You have to go through it. And I'm sorry it's not showing, but here you go. One step, and it's gonna take a while to set Visual Studio. But if you downloaded TextPad on Windows and the Irvine library and set it, you're good. It doesn't take that much time as Visual, and Visual also might give you errors, and you have to go and do all the process again. So and the error will be for a wrong setting. I think it'll be ml something.execute. You'll see an error ml.execute. You can solve it from the, if you have the error, just do a screenshot of what you got and send it to me. I think I can solve it. But in case, we'll go. And this is the Irvine website. I'm going keepirvine.com, where you find those. So now let's go to this. Include Irvine, and in assembly we have a place for the data and place for the code. Where in data we have our variables. In the dot code we'll have our code. So let's see. Can you see the lines? I'm gonna try to. General. I'm trying to change the size of the text so you can see it better. Let's see. I didn't change it. Preferences. Nope. Where did it go? Tools. This should be configured. Preferences. Okay. What is text? This is for default font. Okay, it's here. Let's see. That's include Irvine 32.inc, and then we have the data section and .code. And what is .code and .data? Those are, what do we call them? They're not instructions. This is a library. Micros. .data and .code are micros. They're not part of the instruction set, but are included in the code. Go over those definitions. Good. .data, .code. Then we have main process. Then we have exit, main, end process, and end main. This is how a massive program or assembly program should look like. And remember to save it as .asm. It's really important to save it as .asm from assembly. So now let's go first over printing a string. I want to print a string. I want to define the string. Say string 1. I'll define it as byte, meaning each character will have a byte. Then I'll say get veteran. Each character will be saved in 1 byte. So how much is this in memory? Depending on how many. I have 5, space 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's a 0, 16 bytes. This will take 16 byte in memory. Then we add the 0 AH, 0 DH. And it's important to know why. And this is like the \n and line, and if you remember in C++, one of them is carriage return and the other is line feed. I forgot exactly which one. But what's 0AH? In assembly, if we have the H means hexa. This means hexa. Those are hexa numbers. If I had a 9 instead of the A, I don't use a 0. If we had a letter, let's say B is a hexa number, yeah? I have to put a 0. That's why we have the 0. That's why we have the H. So our numbers are what? A and D. A and D. We can change them. What's A? It's 10. What's D? A, B, C, D. 11, 12, 13. A is 10, B is 11, C is 12, D is 13. So that should be enough. I don't think we need this. So either you put this or that. Now this is our string. So we labeled it in memory, string 1, and we save 16 bytes, which are those characters. Now we go into the code part. Here, this is the data part. Remember, this is where I define my variables. I defined a string here. Now here, what do? First thing I need to, let me do it this way, move to EDX. What's EDX? You have to know the registers, and those are in, I'm not sure if you're taking the same slides, but in chapter 2, slide 16, but you'll find them in chapter 2, all the registers. I have them explained in the lectures. I forgot which lecture, but you have to. We have 8 general purpose registers. We have what? EIP also, and what was it? EIP and the flag registers, 2. Those are the 32 bits, and we have 6 segment registers. Each is what? 16-bit. So you need to know what are those registers: ECX, EDX, EAX, EBX. Why do we use them before you start programming? This is a really important thing, and usually students don't pay attention to that. So EDX, we're gonna have the index of and now we say move EDX offset of string 1. And what does this mean? go get the address of string 1, which is going to be the address of this letter in memory. This is going to say those, give me the first byte, this byte in memory. What's the address of it? That's offset of string 1. I move it to EDX. To know the address, you can do move this to EAX. Do move to EAX, and I'll move the EDX, which is the address, and then do call write integer. This will print you the address. We don't want this. I want to print the string, so I moved the address to EDX. Now all I do is call write string. This is called a procedure. Call write string is a procedure. Those are in chapter 5 or 6. There's a table. You need to know also those before you start programming. This is the problem in assembly. You need to know some stuff. It's even the data. Some as at the end. You have to know it before. So it depends who gives you instructions on those. You need to know those things. Procedures, chapter 5 or 6. This is a table. You need to know them. And if you don't know them, we can go here, and if I'm trying just to show you every step, and just print Irvine, and it's gonna give you the first one, Irvine library massum help. We go to the first one also, and you're gonna see, remember the macros, I told you macros, and here's the Irvine library, and here's all the procedures and functions. Here's the dumb register, print whatever in the registers. Here's where's the call write, the call write string is here, but let me press on it. I can't get it to the screen. If you press on it, it will tell you write an alternative string to standard output. Call arguments EDX points to string, meaning pointing what? What's the address? What's the address? Example dot data promote byte. This is the name of what? The string. Enter your name. 0. See here they put 0. I'll tell you in a minute why is that. Move EDX offset of promote call write string. The same thing we did. Here's the code. If you want to go to read string, you'll find it here, and it will explain it also. It'll give you also another example. I'm gonna explain it to you. If you want the integer, write integer also, it gives you an example. I suggest you go and try to read those and run the examples and see what they give you. So now this is done. This will print this string. This is just what? Printing. See out. We haven't done the CN yet. Continue evaluation. So we did it. Tools. Same thing when you go onto massum. You build it and you run it. No errors. It didn't give me any errors. I close this. Nope. I close this. Okay. And now I'll do run. See? Gaith al-Badr. What did they have? They had, instead of where they showed us on the example there, they had a 0 instead of those two, and the 0 is the same thing new. It's not gonna make a difference. I like to do it this way. No errors. See here, didn't give me a new line, so that was better even to use. I don't know if that will happen on, but this should give you a new line. This should give you a new line. One more thing, in C++, we use double quotes for string. Here we can use single quotes. Single quotes. So now I want an input from the user, a string to be inputted from the user. So let's say enter your name, and let's put it 0A8 0D8, and no, the 0 is because it's hexadecimal numbers. We can put 10 and 13. You saw how it worked. Now here you want to also enter a number. I shouldn't do it all, but here let's declare a num and give it a byte. You can put it a word or double word or whatever size you want, depending on the range of numbers you want. And here I don't want to initialize it. This is a number, and I need to input a string. Where am I going to save my name as? String 2, and I can say byte. So now here's our data. Remember, here's our data. I have the include Irvine. I declared what? A string just to promote, saying enter your name. Then I say string 2. I want to save the name I input in, and this is the number to enter a number and print it, just to show you how it's going. You don't need to declare like C++ integer long double. Byte is, I think, short, depending on the architecture. Double word, I think it's an integer, or it can be a word. So all depends on the architecture. So now let's take this off. So now think, what do you need to do? I need to print the promote, saying what? Enter your name, and named it string 1. So now what do I need to do? Move the address of this letter, the beginning of the string, to edx, and then call the function to print a string. So what do? I say move edx, and I'll do offset and string 1, the address of the first character, or the address of string 1 in memory. Then I'll do call write string, printing the string. Then now here I need to what? To read, yeah. If you go here, we can have to have a buffer. We're gonna use ECX. ECX will give us the size of the string. How many characters is it gonna be? Is it gonna be 20, 30? You can't leave it undefined. So now I'll say move edx string 2, and then I'll say move ECX. I'm moving the address of the string where I want to save the name I'm going to input. I should have commented those, but this is I want to say cout or printf. I'm used to C and C++. Print a message or promote to a user. A comment starts with a single quote. There's another way, but we see here entering a string or name or whatever you want it. Move EDA. We moved offset. I forgot this. The address, and then I say how many letters do I want it. Let's say 50, 60, 70, and now I say call read string. Call read string. And here what I like to do is caret return line feed. This will put a new line. Caret return line feed, and you'll find it where I showed you earlier, the function. Now let's save. Error, syntax error, caret return line feed. Didn't like the caret return line feed. Why is that? Cancel. And here it's move. Let's see if it gives me the same. Undefined symbol string 2. Also we have no this. I always go. So this is, I added this. It's not taking those. So let's go back here. Where was that? Here we should caret return line feed call. Okay. Oh, it's a function, it's a procedure, we have to always call it. That's why it didn't recognize it. Sorry about that. No errors, good. And now we wanna build, run. If you can see it here, enter your name. If you put space, it's okay. The enter will press any key to continue. It didn't print it. Move edx, or is it move ecx buffer? 1 minute, let's check it here real quick. I think I did. I should have. Okay, read string byte 80. I did it same way. What is ECX? Yeah, EDX. I'm moving offset 50 call read string, and it didn't like it. So what if I have here 50 dub, and this is another way to define string. I also have it oh, what was it? No, sorry, string 2 50 dub. 50 is the size, and I'm initializing each one to 0. So let's see if this will work. Should work, shouldn't give any. No errors, but let's see. It doesn't give errors, but it doesn't give you that output. Enter your name. Okay, my bad. It's working without even the dub, but I thought I was printing it. Now I want to print it again. So entering a string, I enter it. It took it. How am I gonna check if it's took it? I say move edx again. What am I gonna move to edx? I'm gonna move offset the address of string 2, which where I saved Gaith. And now I do call write integer, code write string, and this should work. Error, missing operator in expression, line 20. Let's see what's line 20. See, it gives you which line. So, and here we can use view line numbers, offset. See, I have it misspelled. No errors, good. And now I'm gonna do tools and run it. Okay, printed it again. And now to show you the difference in a better way, think of it, we're gonna do what? We need the number. Here, remember, I'm going back over the whole code. Include event.data. I have a number here. You wanted a number to use. And this is the code main process. Print a message. Move edx. I moved this to print the promote to enter your name. Here we did the cn. Those 3 steps are the, let's say, the cn string. Those are the cout string. And now here we have the cout string again to print it again. And let's here. Do you want the user to input another number? And this way it's easier. Then we don't have to use the edx, not like a string, because it's only 1 byte. So what we do is call, where is it? 1 minute, reading the string here, and here it's printing it. You can see, but so I want to in between. I want to enter your name. Now I want you can have a string also to show, like enter a number, but I'm not gonna put it for you. You do it. Now here I'm gonna do what? Call read integer. All you need to do is have the same as what? As this one before the call read integer. For what? For the integer, saying please enter a number or whatever you message one. Call read integer. This will take it to the accumulator, to EAX. You have to know where it takes it to. Anything you input from the keyboard, any number, will go to EAX. And where do we need it to be saved? In num. So what we say here, we say move to num. Sorry, whatever is in AX, because it's a byte, or AL. Sorry, AL, because it's a byte. We declared it as a byte. If you declared it as a word, we put AX. If you declared it as a double word, 4 bytes here, we put EAX. But here, it will give you an error, size mismatch, operand size mismatch. Those two have to be the same size in assembly. So we declared num1 as a byte. We have to use AL, which is a byte. That's why you need to know your registers. You need to know ECX can be broken down to 4 parts. AL, the lower 1 byte. AH is the 2nd byte. And all of them together, the 4 bytes, are called EAX. And I explained that in one of the lectures also, if you want to go over it. Not sure which one. Sorry about that. Now I moved it. Now I want to print whatever is in this. Usually we move it to AL. Usually we do this. You do something. Oh, okay. Let's do this. Okay, we want to do it here. Now, whatever you need to print, and because it's a byte, I move it to AL. I want to print num. If num was 2 bytes, I'll put AX. If num was 4 bytes, I'll put EAX. But now AL, lower 1 byte. Why? Anything I inputted goes to the accumulator to AL, and anything we output has to go through AL also. And now we say call write integer to print the integer. And you want to print it. It's not going to give me here a new line, it's going to print it beside it. So if I put between those the call carriage line feed, it will print them separately. But let's see. I think I went into more details than I know you're waiting now. But I need also to fix it using and I'll post it. Okay. And now you should have another message, and you know how to do that. Print what? Promote saying enter a number. This means we're gonna put a number. Here's 20. Gave plus 20. The plus will go, it's just came with the 20 because any number it will do it that way, so don't think there's an addition or something there. So here if I put call line feed, we're good. There you go. See, hopefully that was good and you understood the homework, the project, whatever it is. Please go over it step by step. Try to divide your pieces, small pieces, divide and conquer. Remember, first thing, do what? Do the call write to print enter your name. Build it, run it, see if there's any errors. That's easier for you to debug. If you have any problems, please let me know. Thank you.